everyone. It is Self-Care Sunday. I tell you. How are you tonight? What is happening in your world? What are you grateful for this Sunday night? That is what I want to know. Oops, let's see if I can fix this screen here just a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. Hey, Kitty, how are you? Yes, I am quite the stranger. More because I've been lost in airports the last couple of days than anything else, I feel like. I feel like the airlines have just left me off places. But it is good to be here with everybody. Hello, Adele and Dazzle. Dazzle and the pets of resale. It is treat time. It is treat time. Yes, the snow has begun to melt and the ice is melting, and I am grateful for all of that. I'm grateful for all of that. I'm grateful for shoppers out shopping today. Shoppers out shopping is a good thing. As we do our progressive clearance sale right now that we have going on. One more day left of that. I'll talk about that a little bit, I guess, tonight. Talk about that a little bit. But it has been a long week. It's been a long week. And this old body's tired from it. The old body isn't what it used to be. We are broadcasting, folks, on both Facebook and YouTube tonight. Any problems with Facebook, hop right on over to YouTube. I'm over there as well. You can hop right on, no problem, and see us there. Cassandra's got the link there for you in the Facebook comments. So grab it from there if you're having it, if Facebook's being wonky on you. But yeah, it has been a long week, but it is great to be back here with you all live. I am excited about that. Although I thought about taking a nap before I came on tonight. But I guess that just goes back to the old body. You know, this old body ain't what it used to be. But I'm excited. This week I get to travel by car again. So we got to have a road trip again. I looked about switching it back to flying, but it's as much time in the air with all the different airports as it is with driving. And I'm like, yeah, I'll drive. So I am excited about that. I am excited to be to have an actual road trip again. It has been way too long since I've had a road trip. But I've been going too many parts of this country to have road trips too close together, too far, too close together. Is that a thing? Because I've driven far before. I mean, I've driven all over the place. I've driven to Texas. I've driven to everything. But we are the where I've been and so close together. It's been too much to drive. But I am glad to hear that snow is melting and things are looking up for people. And hopefully, I think this week, other than cold, the beginning of the week is kind of uneventful from a weather perspective, or at least that's what my mind is telling me. And it all starts up here. So if we start up here with positive thoughts, maybe Mother Nature will get there. Hey, Barb Gallo, how are you? It is great to have you here live from Pittsburgh. On this Sunday night, what are you grateful for? Hey, Rachel, thanks for joining us live tonight. Great to have you here tonight. Glad to have everybody here. I've got a bunch of stuff. There's so many things going on right now. I've got a bunch of stuff going on tonight. I'm going to get started tonight with our Stay Positive book. Our Stay Positive book is where we start. Oh, I need glasses. Hang on a second. It would help if I have those. Easier to read the book with the glasses on. I'm just saying. Tonight, all right, on page 18, leadership is knowing that the critics will criticize you while still saying what needs to be said and doing what needs to be done. History doesn't remember the critics. It remembers the one who withstood criticism to accomplish something great. Ignore the critics. Show up, lead the way, and do the work. Repeat tomorrow. That is your the first half of your Stay Positive tonight. Hey, Julie Jankowicz is here with us tonight. Great to have you from Illinois. Rachel from Massachusetts. Kitty is we're getting a fair representation tonight. Barb in Pittsburgh. A lot of this country covered. As I mentioned, I've been on the road this past week. I was in Florida. So I was in Florida, which was beautiful, which was nice. Part of the week was cold. I'll admit those Florida people, it was fun seeing them bundled up in northern winter coats, okay? It was fun seeing some of those Florida people bundled up in heavy northern winter coats, okay? I did not have any of that on. I did have a sweatshirt one day, or a very light sweatshirt, sweater vest type thing. While all the weather was happening up north, I had palm trees to look out at. People were, even Friday, my bank messaged me, we have to close early because of the ice. Do you need anything and everything? And I sent a picture of the palm tree out my window, and I'm like, I think I got a clear view. I don't know why you're closing. But that was really wonderful. But Texas is here. Hey, Suki, how are you? My Texas trip got cut short last week because of weather. Too many weather events. This week, I didn't get cut short, but I had a bonus, an unexpected trip. So I got an unexpected trip this week when American Airlines deserted me, and of all places, Charlotte. American Airlines said, hey, you should go preview Charlotte. I hear you got a conference coming up in Charlotte. Why don't you preview it, since we're not going to send you home anyways? Hey, Rose, how are you? Great to have you here. So I got to spend some time unexpectedly. I had what is it? 18 hours in a rental car in Charlotte? 18 hours in Charlotte as my preview of the upcoming conference that we're going to be having in Charlotte. And Charlotte, the Queen City, is such a welcoming city. I mean, literally, I just wrote, I'm not one to fill out all those little survey things on the bottoms of receipts, but I actually did that today for an IHOP of all places. But at 11 o'clock at night, I mean, where they're supposed to be dealing with drunks and other people at IHOP, we got the most amazing service and welcoming staff at an IHOP in Charlotte that served dinner there when I was in Charlotte. And it was really an unbelievable. You would have thought, for how well I got treated at an IHOP in Charlotte, you would have thought I was at the Ritz. I literally was shocked by that. But from the moment you step off the plane, you really feel that North Carolina, a little, Southern hospitality, and I really got to say that. I will give, and I don't know, the exterior of the airport has a lot of construction right now. Hopefully, a lot of it will be finished by the time we get there in June. But that's, conference is only a few months away. I can't believe that we're talking, just a few months away. If you have not read the lineup yet, in the NARTS newsletter or at narts.org/conference, make sure you check out, make sure you get registered, make sure you look at travel for a planned trip to Charlotte. This was an unexpected trip. But there were a lot of unexpected things that I felt bad for everybody in American because they had a lot of people really ripping them a new one for things that were beyond their control. But I got to drive around Charlotte and see some great places. I got to eat lunch at a brewery that I believe is not far from where our hotel is. And so the whole Charlotte area is just booming and growing, but it feels really small. So I mean, you have that small town feel where everybody is nice and friendly. I mean, I didn't outside of the airport where customers were mad at the airport, I didn't meet a mean person. I didn't meet a mean person while I was there. And there's just so much going on in Charlotte. There's so many great restaurants. There's so many great things right around our hotel. There is great shopping. I mean, phenomenal shopping. I know you ladies love to shop. There's phenomenal shopping. Oh, Rose, I got stuck in Charlotte because of ice up north. So we had ice that was basically shutting down the airports in the Northeast. And so I couldn't get home from all my travels last week. Julie's already registered. I love you, Julie. Julie, you're awesome. Far better than I. I'm usually the one getting the email from Adele. You know you're speaking at conference. You know you need to register for conference. Have you registered yet? I'm usually getting that email. Although she's gotten used to me by now. Adele, sometimes the email just from Adele says, okay, you should have registered by now. You should have registered by now. I still have your credit card from when you did this the last time. I just charged it. Yeah, that's a great idea, Suki, to send your managers to conference. They will get so much out of it. That is really the best when you're able to bring other people with you, because they get a different view. They look at it through a different lens. They see different things that you do not see. They hear things in a way that you do not hear it. I won the drawing one year, Julie. I got to tell you, when did I win it? Florida, I think. Wasn't it? I think I won it when we were in Palm Beach, which made Palm Beach even better than it already was. But it is a... being registered early, but that is such a great investment in your team, Suki, is to invest, and you can divide and conquer the workshops. So dividing and conquering those workshops and getting to multiple workshops is such a great way, by bringing staff, making sure that you're not overlapping. And the other important thing when you bring other people is to not sit together. You get to see each other all the time. I mean, when my wife and I are there together, we do not sit together. It is rare that we go long periods of time without seeing each other. But that way, we're talking to different people. We're never sitting at the same table twice. We're never sitting with the same people, and that way, we're learning so much more at conference. It is such a it's not just an adrenaline rush. Conference isn't just an adrenaline rush. I don't want to say it's not a shot in the pants, because it's investing in you and your business. So it was really cool to be able to do that. I did not, for my 18 hours and my little bit of time on a pillow, I did not end out actually staying at our conference hotel for this night, but I was at another Hilton, and Adele, I'm going to have to send you this just so you can laugh about it, or you can post it in your meeting planner groups, because the list of rules for the hotel that I stayed at, yes, rekindling friendships, absolutely. The list of rules for this hotel that I did stay at in Charlotte was so hilarious. I actually kept a copy of the rules, because I was like, are you kidding me? And and it went beyond the obvious normal stuff of smoking is prohibited. And it was unusually specific. Burning candles or incense is prohibited. There's a strict no party policy. Damage to the hotel furnishings will be billed accordingly. Excessive or extraordinary cleaning following your departure will be billed accordingly. This was my favorite one. Well, actually, there's a lot of them. Only registered guests are allowed in the hotel after 11 o'clock. But my favorite rule, Adele, my favorite rule of this was confetti and rose petals are prohibited in your room. You cannot use any confetti or rose petals in a room. Connecting with other that's true, Julie. Connecting with other shop owners in between workshops is where you get so many ideas and make new friends. Hey, Lindsay, great to have you here from Kentucky. It is, but I mean, you look at that rules list, and I have to admit, I've never had confetti, but I was given a key to a room once. No strippers, people. I was given a key to a room once, and this was on a consult. So I was out visiting a store owner. They're also prohibited in the ballrooms. I love it. Where there was the key to my room, which they had already given to somebody else, had rose petals all over the floor. So I've seen that in a hotel. Yes, it was, and you know what this is, and it was funny because the clerk, I laughed about it with the hotel clerk who was working that night. I'm like, obviously, this is all the result of a problem you guys had, and she was very straight. She's like, I've been here a year, we've never had it, but there were problems before, in the year that she's been there, and part of it is, yes, you have to deal with your problems. Okay. When you have a problem, you have to deal with it, but you shouldn't make an incident a policy. Okay. You should deal with your incidents, but not every incident requires a policy like this that everybody has to sign off on. You know where your problem was, you know what caused your problem, and obviously you should deal with that. But I have seen rose petals in a hotel room before. It was not my room. It was not. I was given a key to a room that somebody else I shouldn't have been to. But that's a whole nother story. That was, and it was when the hotel insisted that it was really my room, was what really, when they doubled down on it, was really there. Hey, I've got our weekly trivia here. But I am so excited. I am so excited about conference, and just having that 18 hours in Charlotte got me even more excited for this wonderful city, and all that it is going to be there for us when we are there in June. It is going to be great. That's correct, Kitty. You don't make rules for the majority when the problem comes from one person or one customer. You know where your problems are, and the same. I bring that up from the hotel, partly to laugh, partly because I'm going to send it to Adele so she has it, because I think in her meeting planner groups they'll find a good laugh over it. But you don't create policies in your store, okay, because of an incident. You deal with the incident. The overwhelming majority of your customers are not going to throw confetti and rose petals. Okay, that is a special thing, So you deal with your issues when you have it, and that's really why I brought that home to talk to everybody about, because it was entertaining, but it was there's that mindset. It's so quick to go create a policy, okay, because of something that happened in your store. And you should resist that temptation. Resist it at all costs. Resist that temptation. Look at what you need to do to deal with the incident, and make those tough decisions. All right. Does everybody have their thinking caps on? I got this week's trivia for you. Are you ready? Remember, three of these stories are amazingly true. 3 of these stories are real. Only one of these stories is fake. Can you spot the fake story? Story number 1, Dolly Parton and Duncan Hines are teaming up for a line of cake mixes and frostings. Story 2, Yee will be organizing a Yeezy garage sale. Story number 3, job candidates out of IKEA can snack on 3D printed vegan meatballs while interviewing at the company. And story number 4, a fight of 40 plus people broke out at a Golden Corral, reportedly over a piece of steak. Which of those stories is the fake story? Was it Dolly Parton and Duncan Hines are teaming up for a line of cake mixes and frostings? Will Ye be organizing a Yeezy garage sale? Are job candidates at IKEA, can they snack on 3D printed vegan meatballs while interviewing at the company? And did a fight of 40 plus people break out at a Golden Corral over a piece of steak? Which of those is the fake story? Think about that for a little bit. I like this quote from Simon Sinek this week. We don't do business with companies. We do business with people. Business is always human. Yes, it is, people. Yes, it is. It's all about the people. And I talk about it often. I talk about it often that how we are in the people business. Okay, we are in the people business. We are in the relationship business. We are in the people business. And I fully admit that the younger version of me didn't understand people the way I do now, and didn't have the insight into people the way I do now. But we are totally in the people business. You guys are almost all going. Everybody thinks the meatballs is fake? All right. Well, Adele is correct. Dolly Parton is doing, and Duncan Hines are teaming up for a line of cake mixes. I'm not sure what the team up is in that, but they are teaming up. Everybody else is thinking IKEA is fake, okay? And IKEA is real as well. IKEA, you can get 3D printed vegan meatballs while interviewing at the company. That is true. So that leaves you either Ye is organizing a Yeezy garage sale, or a fight of 40 plus people broke out in a Golden Corral over a piece of steak. Golden Corral has to be true. It is true, Rose. You are correct. The garage sale is the fake story. The garage sale is the fake story. The Golden Corral is actually in Pennsylvania, not far from where I lived when I lived in Pennsylvania, actually in a town that I lived in briefly when I lived in Pennsylvania back in the early 90s briefly. Not to age myself there, but yes, I did. This is an interesting customer service issue. Okay, so I dive deeper on this story only because it's an interesting customer service issue. This fight broke out because allegedly the second person in the steak line, okay, budged in front of the first person. And the real issue is that the second person in line, and it was a longer line, but the second person back wanted their steak basically mooing, okay, and the first person in line wanted their steak well done. So obviously the well done steak was going to take longer than the steak that was still mooing. And so that was done first in the Golden Corral's defense. But how this devolves down into fight, I mean, it goes down to people are short right now. People are short on time and tension, and people are looking for something to just go nuts over and to lose their stuff. And even in the airport the other night, there were people wanting to get in a fight with American Airlines. I mean, like, what can this clerk do? And, so you could either kill people with friendliness. Being mean to this person is not going to help you get to where you're going faster. It is not going to help the weather. They don't control. There's so much, this isn't things that are in their control. Yes, I've eaten at a Golden Corral once too, and it is an experience. It is an experience. But it comes back in all of this is treating people with respect and dignity, treating people like you'd want to be treated. And people are short right now. People are short on patience and energy. People are, most of the time, people get it. Most customers get it, but people are on a short fuse right now, and so I have to. You have to get with it, and you have to be appreciative of that. Most people are just trying to do and get by and everything else, but it's something that sets them off, and I understand it. Okay, the world is tired of the pandemic, and all its effects, but the pandemic is not through with the economy yet. So that's the reality of it. And so, people lose their cool when they otherwise wouldn't. And a brawl erupts over a steak, or it could have been anything else. One of the other things going on in the economy right now, and I've talked a lot about it, is inflation, and that prices are going up, and you still have a right to make money if your costs are going up. Okay. Well, I'm going to finish that. Lindsay, you're right, but I wouldn't tense yourself so up and get yourself worked. I hope you don't get yourself worked up that somebody's going to come in with a fight this week, or be upset of something. Everyone is tired. Everyone is. And when you treat people nicely, which everybody here does, we get there faster to a good resolution. Respect, dignity, and act with integrity. That's 100% right, Julie. I agree. You just, take a breath, think before you say, think before you act. It really, there's so much truth to the old lessons that we learned as children, and the lessons we try to pass on to our own children. That, and I fully admit, the younger me would act without and run his mouth without thinking. Age has that effect on you. I mean, and I'm not talking last year, me. I'm talking a long time ago. But I'm very cognizant of that in my past. So I'm very cognizant of how that was in my past. So you have to act that way. I did want to touch on inflation again, because I touch on it from the perspective of, I want to make sure that you are still making money. You have the right to make money. You have the right to earn a profit. You are in business. You can't serve your customers, your suppliers, your community, your team, if you are not making money. And as Suki mentioned, her prices are up 10% over last year. And that's a fair range for a lot of it. But even the biggest of biggest said, hey, we're going to lose money if we don't raise our prices. So Amazon this past week raised the price of Prime by 17%. Because their costs are higher. Our costs are going up, and they're raising the price of products too. 17%, okay, just on the price of their membership program, they raised it, okay? So know that costs are going up. And that's a big deal. It is also important to be cognizant of advertising costs, okay? Facebook, Instagram, the Facebook group, made a lot of news this week because they, quote unquote, lost money. They lost, 100 and something million. I forget the exact amount. I don't have it in front of me. But they lost that on R&D investments. Okay, so Facebook made news this week for two different things. They made money because they made news because of their drop in their loss in revenue, the 100 something million, whatever it was. Okay, the number doesn't matter, but that they lost all this money. And it was really based on all their investments in R&D, trying 1,000 things, hoping one of them works. Just the same thing you guys do in your stores. Not everything is a home run, but you still got to try things. They spent a lot rebranding, but a lot of their money is really testing future technologies and future things, which is a lost art in this country. If you think about how this country revolutionized industry. Okay, R&D, yes, research and development. That is good old-fashioned investment that companies that isn't sexy to Wall Street anymore. Okay, Wall Street doesn't like seeing the costs of research and development. But to be successful in the future, you have to constantly be reinventing yourselves. You have to constantly look at ways to be better. You're doing that in your stores, okay? You're constantly looking at ways to refine your processes, refine your products, refine how you serve your customers. That is research and development. And big companies are doing it too, but they've done it historically over the last 10, 20 years at a much slower rate than happened in the 50s to the 1980s, where companies invested and Wall Street appreciated that they invested it. Now it's everybody looking for the quick buck. So that is part of where Facebook lost money. The other part that Facebook, or Meta, as they like to now be known, made some big news is the decline in user base. Okay, the decline in daily active users by more than 1 million. And that sounds like a lot, but what it's leaving out of the conversation, that's only a top line number. Okay, and what it is leaving out of the conversation with that is that Facebook and their associated companies. So I use the term Facebook, and I mean all of them, because I just can't get on this whole Meta thing. But Facebook and all their companies did a lot of work eliminating fake user accounts, or duplicate user accounts, or inactive user accounts, or accounts for people's dogs. So the fact that they're down 1 million, which is a headline number and something they really wanted to have out there as a bad thing, and other companies are trying to pounce on it as a media thing and to talk about it that way. The reality is that that's not nearly as bad as it sounds. Okay, one. And two, over half of all advertising revenue in 2022, over half of it will be spent on with Facebook and the associated companies, Google and Amazon. Over half of all advertising revenue will be on those three mediums of every advertising dollar spent in this country. So they are not irrelevant. They are not irrelevant. They're not irrelevant, even though there are times where you're frustrated with what your reach is and different things. They should not be the only thing in your advertising bucket. They shouldn't be the only thing you use, because again, you don't use them. You do not, let me rephrase that. You do not own them. You use all of those things. Okay. But you do not own them. So work on what you own. It's one of the things I've worked a lot with stores on recently is their email lists. Yes, half of every ad dollar spent in this country. And think about that. We got the big game coming up in a couple of weeks. That big game, that big Sunday football game coming up in a couple of weeks, which will have a huge splash, okay, of advertising dollars spent in a given day. But of all the advertising dollars spent in this country, over half of it in 2022 will be on Facebook, Google, and Amazon. So it's next Sunday. See, I've been traveling so much, Kitty, I don't even know what day it is. I've been traveling so much, and I'm getting on the road again this week, and it's like I lose track of which day. It's the way I've lost travel time both ways, because I had travel problems when I left and I had travel problems when I came back, that I lost days. It's just like I don't even know anymore. I did see my desk today. Which was nice. I am temporarily home, Vina. You missed it earlier. I was like, It was made for you. I was in a hotel and they had, one of the rules was no rose petals allowed in your hotel room. And my visit to you is the only one that had rose petals in it, even though that was that they stole my room and threw the rose petals in there. No rose petals. Yes, I'm temporarily home. But I'm back on the road Tuesday, I think. I think I'm back on the road. I'm on the road the rest of the Tuesday through the rest of the week. Yes, I was home for Nana's birthday. So I'm home in between trips for Nana's birthday. You looking to buy Vina's business? Lindsay, that'd be great. No customers knew what day it was. Yeah, I mean, and I get that. I mean, it's tough out there. It is tough between the weather and stuck at home and just traveling and everything. People lose track of the days. I do it all the time. So, and especially because it's sort of my catch up time is when I'm here, because I like to catch, when I'm on the road, I'm basically turned off from everything else. So I'm focused on wherever I'm at. So I don't get distracted. Thank you, everybody, for Nana's birthday wishes. She will appreciate that. We had good cake. I didn't get home early enough last night. Yesterday was actually her birthday. We celebrated today because I got home so late last night. Nana was already done. Didn't want cake last night, but we had a brunch today and had cake at brunch. So celebrated her today. So it is good. It is good. So we enjoyed that. I will recap. I'm going to try to be on Wednesday. If I'm on, I will probably be late because I am traveling this week. I will definitely be back on. Oh, next Sunday is the game. We'll work out timing. Next Sunday I may have to be early because you people are going to watch the game. So Wednesday I will work out some time sometime this week to be back on. I'm just not sure when with the that I'll make my regular Wednesday time with my travel this week because it gets intense when I travel. I do Sunday and Wednesday, Lindsay, is my scheduled times. Sunday and Wednesday at more 8 than ish. But with the travel I've been doing, it's been a little. It's been weird. It's been hard to get everything in because when I'm on the road, I'm all in where I'm at. I'm all in where I'm at, and I'm not. My mind isn't any place else but where I'm. The store that's sitting in front of me when I'm on the road like that. So I will do my best to work this in because there's a lot I want to talk about. I've got to wrap up. I want to share with you about our what do you call it? Our progressive sale, which is coming to a conclusion tomorrow. But a progressive sale is a great way to clearance out your store, and this is a great time of year for clearance sales. So we want to talk about that a little bit. I've got some updated information from the ADA on and the Justice Department. I have some great information from the ADA and the Justice Department on service animals and what constitutes a legal service animal. And it is, I was incredibly grateful to get this information directly from them. And I'm going to update you on that. They did a great presentation for the NFIB, and I got some great details that I want to share with you. So I've got a lot to cover. Next week, I'm actually more desk time. I think more desk time and less travel time next week. So we will get caught up here. We will get caught up. So we will do all that. But you know what else we do is this video and everything I talk about. This video and everything I talk about goes over to narts.org/resale strong by noon the next day. Noon, I tell you. all the files, all the links, including a direct link to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and oh yes, you can ring that bell. Ring it so you know when another one drops. A leg hiker in a service dog suit. Well, the service dog suit doesn't make the animal. It's a very interesting. There's some very interesting distinctions, and I really appreciate direct from the Justice Department, the Federal Justice Department, and the ADA. I got some really great information, so it is really top of mind. I appreciate our friends at the NFIB for getting that for us. I am here most Sundays and Wednesdays at More 8 Than Ish. Most Sundays and Wednesdays at More 8 Than Ish. But if you have a question in between, I'm the easiest guy in the world to reach. Just email me, Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. I do hope to get in a few other stores this week that I'm not directly meeting with, since I'm on the road. And literally a road trip this week. You never know where I might pop in, and I'll take you with me if I can. If I can pop in, I will take you in. We start this program every night with the Stay Positive book. Leadership is knowing that the critics will criticize you while still saying what needs to be said and doing what needs to be done. History doesn't remember the critics. It remembers the one who withstood criticism to accomplish something great. Ignore the critics, show up, lead the way, and do the work. Repeat tomorrow. People often say that adversity makes you stronger, but that's not always true. Many face adversity and become fearful and fragile as a result. The truth is, adversity makes you stronger if you learn from it. Stay positive and resilient and use it as fuel for your growth. There you go, people. That is good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, a NARTS conference in person in June. Adele, are we having a wedding and bar mitzvah there on Sunday night? I'm sure we can find somebody to have a wedding and bar mitzvah there while we're there in person. We will party again. We will party in person. And when we do, I'm going to be there with you. But until then, and until Wednesday, hopefully, More 8 Than Ish, know that you, but most importantly you, yes, you're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. It's time for dessert. I love that, Adele. We're going to try. We'll figure it out. We can find somebody to marry off. No problem. And a bar mitzvah. How hard can that be? Have a great night, everybody.